Hello, learners. I am Parikshit, and welcome to another very exciting session on Unacademy CAT-alyst. In today's session, we are going to talk about the major differences between the IIFT and the CAT. Remember, the IIFT is just a few days after your CAT, to be precise, immediately the next week after your CAT exam. So you won't have much time to prepare for the IIFT if you are planning to start preparing only after your CAT exam. It is essential that you understand the differences and put in the extra effort required to cover the delta portion, right? When I say delta, I mean portions which are not there in your CAT. You got to be aware of it and focus on it. Remember, you cannot put all your eggs in one basket, as they say. So if just in case the CAT doesn't go well, IIFT should always be considered as a very welcome option, right? Which will help you get into a dream B school. IIFT Delhi and IIFT Kolkata is considered to be amongst the top in the country. In today's session, I'm going to talk about all the differences, all that you need to know, and more importantly, how you're going to prepare for the IIFT. Remember, there is always something special about every exam, and I'm going to talk about that delta portion and that specialty required to prepare for the IIFT. Let's get started with today's session. This is me, Parikshit Saikia, your educator on Unacademy with the highest live class ratings, thanks to my learners. Okay, I just started two new courses for the 2022 CAT aspirants. A beginner's course on LRDI. Remember, the timings are Wednesday, Thursdays, Fridays, 10:15 to 11:45 p.m. And if you wish to subscribe to these courses on LRDI, remember you got to subscribe to the Unacademy Plus platform. Also, I started a complete beginner's course on arithmetic, which started just yesterday. And to access any of my courses, you got to subscribe to the Unacademy Plus plan. To subscribe, use code which you see on your screen, Parikshit Live, because the code Parikshit Live will get you maximum discounts and also it will give you free mentorship. Yeah, you heard it correct. Free mentorship from my side as you prepare for your CAT 2022 journey. Okay, other batches are also starting on Unacademy in the next few days. To enroll, use my code Parikshit Live for discounts and free mentorship from my side. Let's get started with today's session. One moment, yes. Let's pull up the slides, okay? Now let's first talk about the IIFT exam in general. Now, most of you might not be aware, okay, that IIFT is actually only for the Indian Institutes of Foreign Trades, right? And it is for the flagship MBA in international business, okay? Now, I will talk about the international business MBA, but more importantly, the exam is going to be held on the 5th of December, which is just exactly a week after your CAT examination. There are three IIFT campuses. IIFT Delhi being the best, IIFT Kolkata second best, followed by IIFT Kakinada, which is a new campus coming up, right? Now, the significance of the IIFT exam. The IIFT offers an MBA program in international business. And trust me, MBA in IB, as we call international business, okay, IB, is considered to be amongst the most sought after MBA curriculums in the world, not only in India, but across the world. Now, why do I say so? There are two reasons primarily. Reason number one, MBA in international business covers international management activities like foreign exchange, customer regulations, trade analytics, international marketing, international logistics, and sensitivity of the international business environment. Okay. Now, more importantly, you can think of it like international business and exposure to foreign investment is what IIFT is going to teach you. If you are the one who aspires a career probably abroad, probably in Europe, in the US, or even in renowned world bodies like the United Nations, right? MBA in international business is what you got to consider. A lot of placements in IIFT are for international postings. And if you are the one who aspires to settle abroad, MBA in international business definitely got to be one of your choices. It is a 6 tri-semester. What is the tri-semester? Tri-semester means one semester, okay, is for 3 months. So is for 3 months, okay, 3 months or 4 months, okay. So 4 months generally, because you'll also have your internships. So generally it would be for 3 to 4 months, one semester, and then you'll have total of 6 semesters over a period of 2 years. Again, as I said, IIFT is considered to be amongst the best in international business schools in the field of international business. Okay. Now, having known about the IIFT exam, do you need any prior knowledge, okay, to sit for probably an MBA in international business? No. But the answer is definitely terms like exports and imports, currency depreciation versus appreciation. As an example, tomorrow if the Indian rupee appreciates, okay, it becomes stronger compared to the US dollar, how did it affect the Indian economy? Bad for us or good for us? Bad for tourists, let's say, or good for tourists? You can think about it. Most of the answers are common sense. As an Indian tourist, let's say you want to visit the United States, would you want the Indian rupee to be more stronger or weaker? If it is stronger, probably when you go to the US with less rupee, you can buy more goods over there. Correct? When I say less rupee, I only mean with less rupee, you can get more US dollars and hence more US goods. Hence, it is beneficial for you if the rupee becomes stronger. Think about it. If for exporters, people who export, is it the same way? I'll keep that as an open question. Think about it. If these are topics that interest you, IIFT and in turn MBA and international business is definitely worth trying. Now, having known about the IIFT pattern, let's talk about the IIFT exam in particular. Now, the IIFT 2022, I call it 2022 because we are looking at 2022 batch, right? You write the exam in 2021, but after all, you are going to be appearing or getting admission in 2022. So, IIFT 2022 will have 4 sections. The first section is gonna be RC and verbal ability, followed by LRDI, then you will have quants, and then you will have general awareness. I'm gonna talk about what extra portions you are gonna learn in these sections compared to your CAT exam. But before that, look at the number of questions. Maximum weightage is for your RCs and verbal abilities in the IIFT exam. And the minimum weightage is for your GK, general awareness, right? And then second highest weightage is LRDI followed by quants. Marks per question is 3 marks for your VRC, quants and LRDI, 3 marks per question. While for GK, it's only 1.5 marks per question. What is the negative marking? Negative marking is 1/3. So let's write down negative marking. Negative marking is 1/3 of the total marks. 1/3 of your marks in that question. So if it is a 3 marks question, you get it wrong, -1. You get it correct, +3. Unattempted, 0. No marks. So obviously, 35 questions and 3 marks per question, 105 marks in your VRC and 90 marks in your LRDI, 75 marks in your quants and 30 marks only in GK. So total is 300 marks, okay, 110 questions, 300 marks and a 2-hour paper Now let's look at the IIFT 2022 seat availability. As I said, you got to fill up your preferences while filling up the IIFT form. And the best among these, I'll say rank 1 among all the IIFTs is definitely IIFT Delhi with 260 seats available for grabs, right? The coming year. IIFT Kolkata, 140 seats. And this is a new campus, IIFT Kakinada, but still has the IIFT brand associated with it. The seats is yet to be decided, but it will be somewhere around 60 to 80 seats. Somewhere around 60 to 80 seats. So overall, you can expect total number to be around 450 to 500 seats in total for IIFT available this year in the year 2022 batch, for the upcoming 2022 batch. Okay. That was about the exam pattern and the seat availability for IIFT in 2022. Next, let's talk about the IIFT cutoffs last year and in recent years. So if you look at the IIFT cutoffs, right, expected cutoffs overall based on past year analysis for general category, Total cutoff is around 125 plus. 125 how much? How out of 100? Out of 300. Out of 300. Correct. So total is 125 out of 300 for general category. If you are economically weaker section or you belong to NC OBC, it is 102 plus. Whether it is, and then if you are SC ST, it is around 80 plus. Correct. Remember, 3 marks per question. 3 marks per question, and in GK it is 0.5 marks per question. So basically, we are looking around 37, 38 questions correct. 37, 38 questions correct overall, and then the remaining GK questions correct. A few GK questions correct will fetch you, will help you clear your cutoffs in the IIFT exam. If you look at the VRC section, okay, 30 plus marks is generally the cutoff for VRC. Let me remind you, there are sectional cutoffs in your IIFT. So 30 plus marks would be, you should get around 10 questions correct out of 35. Out of 35. Correct? What about QA? QA, the cutoff is very low. You should get around 6 correct out of 25. Out of 25. These are very low numbers. LRDI, we are expecting around 7 correct out of 30 questions. And GK, we are expecting around 10 questions correct. Around 10 questions correct. Okay, out of 20 questions. So 10 to 7 to 10 questions correct out of all the questions in GK. Now remember, IIFT, you can switch between sections. You can switch between sections. Okay, so it would be advisable, highly advisable, that you first clear the cutoffs. First, step one. Step one, clear cutoffs in each section. Clear cutoffs. So do not, okay, and I would repeat, do not just keep solving VA and QA and then you realize you don't have sufficient time for LRDA. Even if you end up with 100 percentile in VA and QA, if you don't clear the cutoffs in LRDI, you are not going to get a call. So the thing is, ideally how toppers suggest is you first spend sufficient time clearing the cutoffs, and last 20 minutes, you can come back to your strongest section, whichever is your strongest area, be it VRC, be it QA, or be it LRDI. Last 20 minutes, come back, spend some time on your strongest area, and then maximize the overall score. Why do I say? Because in this way, you ensure that you have cleared the cutoffs for each of the individual sections, and last 20 minutes is only for you to get the maximum possible score overall by playing on your strong area. So always remember this. GK, do not spend much time. You know the answer, well and good. You don't know it, just move to the next. Okay. So GK is not like your LR or quants where you have to think a lot. So save some time in GK questions, and whatever time you save, you can spend that in either VRC, QA, or LRDA. Fine. Let's go to the important topics. Now, when I talk about the important topics, I'm not going to talk about quants. Quants, it's exactly the same as your CAT syllabus. 99% of the students who will view this video know the CAT syllabus. So let me not repeat CAT quants. What about verbal? Verbal, it's important that you know the delta portion. Why? Because probably for your CAT, you have only been focusing on the RCs. But for the IIFT, you also got to focus on grammar, sentence correction. Okay, you got to focus on sentence correction, active and passive voice. So if you have, in case you have forgotten, fill in the blanks. So here basically it will test your vocabs. They will give you 2 words and they will ask you which words will go in which blank. Similarly, direct, indirect speech, synonyms and antonyms, idioms and proverbs. Para jumbles is something that you already do in your CAT. Para summaries, to an extent you do it in your CAT. Articles, prefix and suffix. So a lot of grammar is there, and the good portion is, you know what? These are easy. You don't have to put in a lot of effort. You don't have to put in a lot of effort. And I'm going to tell you how you're going to prepare for your VRC, for your IIFT. It is very different from the CAT, and I'm going to talk about it. But before that, let me first talk about LR. LR, linear arrangement. We don't have to bother. Why? We already did this in the CAT. Circular arrangement, already preparing for the CAT. No extra preparation required. Grouping and selection, table formation, coding and decoding. Now, good part is This portion, the 5 topics that you see out here, you have done for your CAT. So no extra preparation required. Where will the extra preparation be required in your LRDI? For your IIFT, this portion, the bottom 6. What are the bottom 6? Coding and decoding. You don't do it in your CAT. Input output. You don't prepare for your CAT. Puzzles is something you already prepare for your CAT, but yeah, to an extent, IIFT puzzles are a bit different. So you got to focus on puzzles as well. Similarly, blood relations, clocks and calendars, direction. This is your focus area. Why I say focus? Because the remaining things you've already prepared for your CAT. But the blue portion, coding, decoding, input, output, clocks and calendars, directions, puzzles, blood relations, they are very easy. I'll repeat again, very, very, very easy. But if you have not done it before, you will not be able to solve it. Hence, it is essential that you cover at least 30 minutes daily on these extra areas, coding and decoding, input, output, on a daily basis till, let's say, November 25th. Why? Because after your CAT, you won't have much time to prepare for all this, right? There are just 5-6 days remaining and you will not have the time. Okay. Now let's focus on how you should prepare for the IIFT exam. How you should rather prepare for the IIFT exam. How to prepare, okay, for IIFT. Very important. Prepare for IIFT. Now, first thing first, let's talk about RCs. You will get around 16 questions from the RCs in IIFT. Now, unlike the CAT, the problem here is, unlike the CAT, where it tests your understanding ability, your ability to interpret and derive conclusions and inferences, that is the CAT. But in IIFT, these are direct questions, database, direct questions, okay? Answers are directly written in the passage. You just have to look for the answers. The only problem in RCs, the only problem in IIFT RCs are they are going to be very lengthy. They are going to be very lengthy. You will get around two passages, okay? How many words? Around 900 words each. Two passages with around 900 words each, and another two passages you will get around 600 words each. Around 600 words. So the trick here is you should be attempting on the day of your IIFT exam these two passages for sure. Why? Again, as I said, passages are not difficult. You're just going to read the question and look for the answers. You're just going to read the question first. You will not read the passage first. You will first read the questions. You know that, okay, these are the questions and this is what I need to search for in the passage. Go back, search for in the passage, and accordingly mark your answer. These are must do. Why? They are less lengthy. 900 words could become a bit more lengthy considering the fact that you don't have a hard copy, right? It's an online exam. You have to have the vertical scroll bar up and down. That itself will consume time and that will be a bit difficult. So definitely make sure you give a few IIFT mocks, and when you're giving the mocks, make sure it should be online mocks, so that you make use of the vertical scroll bar, because that's a bit challenging, right? To scroll up and down every time looking for the answers. Make use of it and get habituated to it, okay? RCs are highly scoring. Only challenge, they are lengthy. Next, I would say maximum score can be obtained in quants. Maximum score. Why? Reason is very simple. IIFT quants, this is the easiest section almost every year. Easiest section. The questions asked in quants are very, very, very easy. So please make sure that you maximize the number of attempts in quants so as to have a maximum high overall score. Okay. And this again, trust me, very easy. Arithmetic is the most important topic. Arithmetic, algebra, and then PNC probability. Arithmetic, algebra, PNC probability. All very easy questions. Probably level of difficulty 1 is all that you need. You don't need to prepare very tough questions. These are going to be super easy. Next, DI. DI. Now the problem with DI is, first thing is, it is easy. Good part. But the problem is, but very calculation intensive. Very calculation intensive. It's going to be very calculation intensive. So I would say unless you are super fast in calculations, okay, you don't try to attempt the DI sets first. Why? Reason again is very simple, very calculation intensive. You will not be able to solve too many questions if you try solving DI. The trick is you should try to solve LR. Remember, this is one section, LR DI. So please try to solve LR questions out here rather than targeting the DI sets, because as I said, it's going to be very calculation intensive. Always that has been the case year after year. So focus on LR, and if you focus on LR, you can easily clear the cutoffs. What do you need to focus? As I said, input output, okay, blood relations, direction sense, these type of LR questions. Please focus, please practice, okay. And if you practice it well, these are not like your CAT LR, which are very tough. You'll be easily able to solve this. I would say do not spend too much time on DI. Probably try to solve one set at the max and then go to the next section, quants, for that matter, VRC. And last, if time permits, you can come back and solve a few extra DI sets. Next would be general awareness. General awareness, correct? General awareness. Now, general awareness is basically twofold in the IIFT. First is static, next is current affairs. Now, with just 4 weeks to go before your IIFT exam, you cannot be doing too much of static GK. What is static GK? Static GK would be, where is the origin of the river Yamuna? Could be a static GK. Whether you give the answer today or whether you give the answer 5 years later, answer is going to be the same. Current affairs is where you got to focus. This should be your focus area for the next 4 weeks. Why? Because current affairs, as they say, current, it is only few things. For few things, right? So hence it is easy to study in 4 weeks time. Current affairs, please look at the Olympics. Let's say Olympic questions could be which Indians, okay, they might ask you a particular sport and they might ask you which person got the gold medal in this particular sport, or for that matter, which country won the largest number of golds in the recently held Olympics. Favorite questions. They might ask you about the Oscar awards, right? So all these things, recent affairs, please get a book which will have the recent happenings. Just read it once so that you are able to answer these questions. Remember, even if you clear the cutoff in VRC, quants and LRDI, but fail to clear the cutoff in general awareness, you are not going to get a call. So it's essential that you clear the cutoffs in GK as well for you to get a call from IIFT Delhi, or for that matter, IIFT Kolkata. Please focus on the current affairs. Static GK is too vast. It can't be done, as I say, in next 4 weeks time. The good part, I would say, is there a good part about general awareness? Definitely yes. What is the good part? Good part is many a times they will give you match the following. Match the following. So when I say match the following, what will happen? Let's say on one side they will have 5 names. Let's say A, B, C, D. And on the other side, let's say they will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, even if you know one of these, let's say one of these, let's say the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, as an example, Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, is C is mapped to 2. Okay, you just go to the answer options. And check where is C mapped to 2. So make effective and judicious use of the answer options to eliminate wrong answers, because even out of the 4, one, you'll be able to eliminate the options and then take one of the answers and only hope that it is correct. Remember, 99% of the aspirants who write MBA entrance examinations are very poor in GK. So if you are afraid what will happen in GK, don't be. There's no point being afraid. There is no point taking tension out here. Just make sure that you focus on the current affairs at least and get those correct, because that itself will help you clear your cutoffs in the IIFT GK section. Having said all of this, this is on the day of your exam. But before your exam day, what you got to do, okay? I would say must do. You got to solve 2 things. First, last 5 year IIFT papers. Last 5 year IIFT papers. Now, when you take these papers, it is not sufficient to just solve it and look at the solution. Don't do that. I would say in a test environment. Very important. Very, very, very important. When I say test environment, let's say on a Sunday, this Sunday, okay, what do? You write the IIFT last year paper. Take a 2-hour continuous exam environment. 2-hour continuous exam environment. Write the last year IIFT paper. After that, check your answers and go to Google. Okay, Google out and find out that particular year cutoff. That particular year cutoff. Okay, that particular year cutoff. Accordingly, you will know that after you give the paper, whether you clear the cutoff or not. That is very important. Very, very, very important. When I say cutoff, I don't just mean the overall cutoff. I also mean sectional cutoffs. It's not about being able to solve 100% of the paper, right? But being able to clear the cutoffs. So after you write the paper, 2 continuous hours, go back, Google the last year cutoffs, and then check whether did you clear the cutoff. Similarly, IIFT 2019, again, close yourself in a room for 3 hours. Why? Because that time IIFT was for 3 hours. Close yourself in a room for 3 hours. Write down the IIFT paper in a test environment. After that, go back, Google, and check whether you clear the cutoffs. Accordingly, you will get a fair idea of how many questions you need to answer on the day of your examination in each section. Because as I repeat, many a time students clear the overall cutoff but fail to clear sectional cutoffs. Hence, you shouldn't fall in that category. You will not fall in that category if you solve the last 5-year IIFT papers. 5-year IIFT papers at a minimum. Second thing, definitely take 3 IIFT mocks. At least take at least 3 IIFT mocks. Yeah, I see people asking questions. I'm going to answer them. Don't worry. But first, let me finish this. Take at least 3 IIFT mocks. Very important. There are so many free IIFT mocks available. Look around and I'm sure you'll get 3 free IIFT mocks at least. But give it in an exam environment and then check the cutoffs. So these, I think if you do at least this much with just 4 weeks remaining, remember, you got to focus on your CAT. You can't be preparing, giving too much time for your IIFT. So at a minimum, definitely solve these 5 plus 3, 8 papers before your IIFT exam. And I'm sure that should take you through. Okay, now let's answer the questions which people are asking on live on the YouTube live channel. So someone is asking, let me read the question. I am a CAT beginner and I want to give IIFT 21. Can I give it for practice? Can I give that? Please suggest how can I prepare for that in this last 2-3 months. For the first time, first thing is IIFT just a few weeks away. It's not months away. It's on December 5th. So basically, we are looking at just 1 month away. So the best you can do is you can definitely write the paper. You are saying you are a beginner. Definitely write the paper. And in case you want to prepare a few mocks, you can definitely give up last few year IIFT papers. That will help you know where you stand before you actually go and write the paper. Right? Okay. That's, yeah. Anything else? That is the only question I see. Any other question that you all have and wish to ask? So again, I'll repeat, very important that you know the cutoffs, okay? Because accordingly, you know how many questions you got to attempt on the day of the exam. It's not about your knowledge, but your strategy in these last few days that will help you clear the cutoffs in the IIFT paper. Okay, a few announcements now. We in Unacademy provide IIFT exclusive batches. Okay, there is an absolute batch starting for the IIFT on the 3rd of November. If you wish to enroll, please make sure that you subscribe to the earliest and use my code Parikshit Live for maximum discounts. You want discounts? Use the code Parikshit Live, and you want free mentorship from my side. Again, the code to be used is Parikshit Live, which you see on your screen. Plus subscription, the prices are on your screen. Whatever price you see here, you will get more discounts if you use my code Parikshit Live. Again, I repeat, in addition to the discounts, you'll also get free mentorship from my side. Iconic subscription is also available for those of you who are interested, and comprehensive, in full length, in-depth mock tests are available on the Unacademy platform. Do enroll using my code Parikshit Live. And anytime you have doubts, make use of the Ask a Doubt feature on Unacademy. That is it. Thank you so much. And I hope you prepare well and clear your cutoffs and get into your dream B school. Till that time, goodbye. Till the time we meet again. Bye for now and stay safe.